Hey guys, in the screencast, I'll just share some screenshots with some feedback that I got. This is the first one from Ismail. Um, so straightforward. He's gonna test it for a couple days and he'll send all the feedback at once. But he already installed it and he says that the UI looks great for now. So this is one example that someone's first impression is, hey, this looks good. No deep analysis like you'll see in some of the others. Just a quick review from him. Here I send an invitation to Ibi, standard invitation. And she said that she can give feedback. She wrote it down, but it's quite a lot. Oh, I didn't even notice that this was the feedback, so I haven't read it. Basically, what she's saying is that she sent me the feedback, but I was actually still waiting for the feedback from her. So it's actually in this PDF. She said, I never give feedback like this. I get asked a lot. I think this is the first project I am giving feedback advice for free. And I think your app has potential if you do it right. So you could read this. I'm going to download the PDF for the first because I'm curious now. I literally was still waiting for her feedback. Wow. Okay. I'm going to send you guys this okay. This is for free. Okay, but she's like, this is her work, so she knows her shit. Anyway, I'm going to send this PDF separately. I'm not going to do a screencast of this, and I have to message her to tell her thank you because I really did not realize that this was the feedback file until now. So this is really good stuff. This is an example where I asked a guy who's as busy as Warren Buffett is busy, or the president, or some important person. Anyway, and I want to show you what happens when sometimes when I pitch the idea to someone, but the app is not as yet what I want it to be. So I made him a promise and I said, well, cryptowiz does XYZ. Oh, sorry, cryptowiz will offer XYZ, but when he goes to the app, he sees 4 modules and he kind of gets pissed off and don't want me to waste his time anymore. So it starts off very positive. This is a busy guy. He asks where I'm based. He said he's been on the app and he cannot see how the app contributes to more responsible investing. Sorry, the flow isn't logical to me. So he's commenting on 2 things. One, the main storyline that I sent everyone in the beginning. So this is a main story that I sent everyone. I said it's going to encourage more responsible investing in the crypto space. This is true. I'm not making it up. However, we're not there as yet with just these tools. So he's to the point and he says, this app doesn't do what you said it does. And the flow isn't logical. So I do what I normally do, which I try to explain that monthly reports will be added in the next couple months. But I'm just asking people in the early stage to give some feedback. I also asked him to elaborate about the flow isn't logical. And then he mentions this point that everyone is mentioning where when he says, try to get back from market prices to the main menu and you'll see what I mean. So basically it's all about the navigation. It really pisses some people off, some more than others. So I tell him that we're working on that already. And he says, good luck, Lido. Sorry, there's nothing more that I can do right now. So I tell him in a couple months, he could take a look again. And here's where you see that that's not really going to happen, because he ends it with, hey, you can always try. But basically he said, I like to help, but there are initiatives that actually compensate for time and input, which means they value and respect my time and expertise. Long story short, busy people doesn't want to get bullshit for little ideas that you're still working out, which is why a couple months ago, I would never have sent a request to a guy like this, because this is a really high level guy that could put you in or get you in contact with, the right people in the space. And it's a chance that I'm taking. In this case, I blew it because I'm just not ready to send it to a guy like him, just like how I'm not ready to share the app with influencers as yet, because we still don't add up and do the valuable things that we said that we should do as yet. But once we have our reports in the app, even though they're not built, we just have the pages built in, the blank pages built in. When he would look at the same concept, all of a sudden it will be much more evident to him how we are delivering on the promise of helping to support responsible investors. So stuff like this happens where you see for sure that this guy doesn't want me to waste his time anymore. I've had a couple of these, and I try to avoid them, but once in a while I still take the risk and just put it out there. But this is how it could end, where someone just says, look, don't waste my time. All right. This is Ismail. I thought that we had Ismail already. Anyway, this is Ismail, and he says, yes, no problem. He said the UI looks great for now, but he's going to give the feedback all at once instead of just using it quickly and giving some feedback. He's going to really take a look at it for a couple of days first. So this is good feedback. This is also someone who's very busy, and he said that I might take a look. But he says something for you to think about is choosing this as a source of data over CoinMarketCap. This is not the first person to mention this to me. And he says, and potential collaborations, integrations with parties like Block Data. So what's nice about this, someone is too busy to really, go and look at the app, but at least we get some leads from them. And this is not the first time that I got this as a source. So this is Jeremy. The only way for you to really know how to look at someone's feedback is to go to their LinkedIn profile and see really what they do for a living. Then you'll really quickly understand why they focus on certain things. So Jeremy says, hey Lido, it's easy to use. It's a bit wonky still though, and the movements don't flow smoothly yet. So a lot of people mention flow. Right? This guy also, Ifkar, he also mentioned flow. When I asked him to explain it, he said, see, the flow isn't logical. He says, try navigating from one page to the next. So I think that's what people mean with flow. So here we see flow again. You say market price functionality is okay, but it's nothing added to coinmarketcap.com. True. Coinmarketcap.com, you can have more information. But I think that we'll differentiate from coinmarketcap.com simply because of the graphic interface that we'll use for the graph. It will be just much more nicer to look at. a graph in our app compared to looking at a graph like this one. Let's see, XRP, Ripple. Like, this is just so much information on one screen. The ads, and all you're trying to see is a simple graph, and you get all of this nonsense. So we'll have a much more clean and quiet design, but he just has to give feedback on what he's seeing right now. And what he's seeing right now is, hey, similar to coinmarketcap.com. So good comparison. Okay, I get it. So he understands. Okay, we quickly show you the highs and lows. Nice to know if I was a swing trader, or maybe even a day trader, I am more of a smart hodler actually. So he understands why this is important. He says, I use this app. So here we get a little tip for us to look at. I see it this way: the top 20 coins contain and will get 80% of the value in a bull run. Why invest in a couple of coins when you can invest in the blockchain technology? Okay. The app has no added value for me. It does not address any pain points that I have. It will only help me buy shit coins even faster. Suggestion: the growth calculator is subjective. Maybe let us know if the simulated growth factor is realistic. A newbie still doesn't know. No reference to make responsible judgment. He doesn't understand how the module works. So I get it sometimes, and I get sometimes that people really just get it. But this really is not for everybody. And the app right now should explain users why they should use each module or when they should use it. And what I notice is that people don't read that stuff. Somehow they don't know that those icons is there with the information. So they're just using the app and giving feedback based on what they see happening on your screen. But they have no clue, some of them, how to use the app unless you explain it to them. Then he says the landing page. Landing page copy. Oh, so the text on a landing page is, in my opinion, below par. And it doesn't address a bleeding neck or any pain point your target market has. Vague. That is true. If you go to, is this the website? No, this is not a website. But if you go to the website, to the about section, there are no pain points, but that is the page that still needs to be added to the website. That's the product page. Because on the product page, you talk clearly about the pain that your product helps you to ease, or the problem that your product solves. But because you don't have a product page right now, there's no clear message as to why someone should use the app. The message, what is there on the landing page, is just about us, our mission, what we care about. So nice that he gave this feedback too. I totally agree with it. It is fake. I didn't reply to him as yet, so I'm going to thank him later on. So landing page, we knew about that. Growth calculator, I can't blame him for this, because if he doesn't understand it and if he can't find on the website where to read it, can't blame him for that. No added value. I think someone like Jeremy is going to only understand the added value of the app when he sees the reports, and or when he sees the reports in combination with a good story as to why he should use each of the modules on the app. He got this one, and he doesn't see any value added here in terms of functionality. Totally agree with him. So great feedback all around. This is just what someone could think when they spend a certain amount of time on app. So this guy, Milko, he wants me to do something for him also. So his feedback might be a bit sugar coated. Um, it's not going to be as harsh because you'll see that he sent me a bunch of stuff that he want me to look into also, blah, blah, blah. Registration went fine, no problem. Markets, when you press the menu back button, does not work. So he's actually clicking the hardware button on the phone, on the Samsung phone, to take him back, but he's in a browser. But he doesn't know that he's in a browser. This is one of the downsides of having a browser. Try to behave like an app. Certain buttons don't work. For example, the back button. It's possible for them to program it in, but then it takes a bunch of time and it's really tricky. Back button does not seem to work at all or very slow. You expect to go back to the main menu with 4 choices when you press the back button, but most of the time nothing happens. Sounds scary that he says most of the time. Sound like sometimes when you press it, it does work. It seems I have to go back by pressing the plus button and then the hamburger. Not intuitive at all. So some people eventually find it out, but like he says here, not intuitive. Growth calculator, when he goes back, the information is gone. It didn't save it. True, true. Same for coin comparison. Nothing is saved. So some very, basic feedback um, from Milko. Odile, she took it on another level. It seemed like the female feedbacks are like long and extensive. I'm not going to read it, but what I'll say is that this is some of the best feedback that I ever got on UI. So I'm not going to even read it. I'm going to just scroll, and you could just pause the video to read the full message that she sent. Here you see again, people is missing the back button. The purpose is also not clear. The design is off. Hope you can work with this feedback. So very good points. Very, 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 very good points here. Especially the fact that the button should not be a plus, because what she says here, plus normally gives the possibility to add something here. It has the functionality of what a secondary menu should have. Then there's Antonio. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of work is needed. Once again, guys, you could just pause the video anytime you want. I think he means here that he wants like a pop-up to explain how certain things work, but I'm not sure. I would have to ask him. Okay, so he didn't actually use the tools. So I think somehow we have to be able to explain what each of the module does. And we could either do it on the menu page, or we could do it on the page after you have selected the tool. I still have to figure that out. But it would be nice if someone comes to the app and they could quickly see, hey, these are 4 tools. This is what each of them does before even clicking on one of them. I can't go back. So the back thing is really a big thing for everyone. There is a horrible plus menu at the bottom, totally not normal for UI pattern, which seems like a feedback intercom button, but actually that's the way to go back to the last screen. So he figured it out. He says here the data seems not to be accurate. Get token high $7 and low is 0. But in reality, on CoinMarketCap, it's very stable around so much. I already don't trust the data of the app. Tell me as a user which exchange data you're using. So I think that this issue could have been that he did an analysis for the last 3 days and he saw zero, but zero is almost not possible unless we're rounding off certain things. I'm not sure. But this is an important thing because if your data isn't right once, people just walk away. The simulator seems the most interesting tool, but at the end, I got some. I have no idea what the conclusion is or what advice is. It seemed like the most interesting tool, but at the end, he got some overview, but have no idea what the conclusion is. I agree with him here. This is why I think that the chat function is going to be a good function to have at the end. So when someone press conclusion, that a piece of text just pop up and just gives them the conclusion more interactive because it's actually there. The information is there on the screen, but people don't really understand it, or probably I have to write it different. The conclusion is XYZ, really like spell it out for them. But I like the fact that he understands the power behind the simulator. He said it's quite advanced versus mainstream users that just buys BTC and ETH on a centralized exchange and waits. So it's more a trader thing, but what value does it offer them over other existing tools? So once again, you saw the first video that I made, it was 30 minutes. I have to explain the guy, long story. What you're using is just a few tools, the values when we start to bring the reports. As you can see, I haven't even answered them because if I have to explain to everyone, it takes a lot of time. In the future, though, even before we build the reports, we'll have the report in the menu and he'll have an idea and he'll go, okay, you have some nice tools and you also will be offering report. So this is kind of like a package, it's like a suite where you could choose to do, different things, either read reports on certain topics or use some tools. So I can't waste too much time with this, but I understand all of his feedback. I like that he likes a simulator, and I'm a little bit concerned about this. So this is something we have to look into. Um, the numbers not being accurate. So that was Antonio. And then we have Gino. Well, basically, Gino is just an example of someone who wants to understand what a project is long term so he could promote it in his group. Seems promising. I think he's not going to want to promote it in his group for free. He's going to want to charge me for it. And usually those guys, they give very friendly feedback. Your ideas seem good. I think success, blah, blah, blah. So he continues. Right now I'm leaving. I'll get back to you and decide if I could promote it on Coinbase. And then he's going to charge something for it. So anytime I see that people is offering a service, or I always take that into consideration when the feedback is very happy and kind. I did this guy's feedback already. There's Leslie. I'll just let you read it. So he sent this photo of something that's not working good on his iPhone. And I also got feedback from where do I find it? I also got feedback from from someone else today. So he sent this picture, and here on top you see the icon from Tron. So that shouldn't be there. And he also sent me this picture where he's using the simulator, and you're seeing information at the top. So I didn't show all the feedback in this video, but he also showed something similar, something that shouldn't be there, and they're all Safari, 100% Safari stuff. Then I had one more. So let me see. Marcel says, I'll have a look. What's the aim of the app? Like literally everyone is asking, well, not everyone, quite a lot of people is asking for this, and that's something that I have to fix on the website, where I make the product page and really explain, hey, this is what the app does, this is the problem that it solves, and this is how it solves those problems. Because right now they don't have anything, they don't have the website, but the app also doesn't show them all the possibilities as yet either. So they're asking that question, and then he mentions the name of another site, Syndicator. And then I explain it. Do you know TradingView? He said TradingView is the Bloomberg of crypto, and I agree with him. Earlier, I told him that we want to be the Bloomberg of in the space, in the crypto space, but that has to do with the reports that we're going to be generating, and it's hard for him to imagine what those reports would look like. So you could just read his feedback here, read my rebuttals also. He gave some feedback on the look. Much better than some apps I currently use. It doesn't offer functionality that he could use. Coin comparison only goes back to 90 days max. He also again mentions this site. He don't understand some of the other tools and how they add value. And you can read my feedback here. So it's it's not easy to work with. This is just a few that I picked out, but I've already asked over 200 people to test the app, so I expect to get some more feedback. And it's going to take a lot of time because I'm kind of selling something that is not there as yet. There's actually three things. One, I'm selling something that's not there as yet. We already have a solution for that, right? Jordy's going to work on creating a slider so that when we're on this page, even though we don't have reports as yet, user will be able to click and go to a page that shows reports, and they'll have different types of monthly reports so that a user will know, okay, he's still working on this project, it's not done as yet, and they'll have a much more objective view on what's already here. Because the reason that they're dissing the app so much in some cases is just because we're not doing what we say we're doing. We're not helping people be responsible. If they see that we have two ways to do it, tools and reports, they'll wait on the reports and they'll look at these for much more objectively and much less harsh, and see it more as, okay, these are some other features that the app brings. Nice that it's all complete in one location. So that's one thing that we already have a plan for. right? Where we don't have any plan to release 4 or 5 reports right now, but we'll just make the pages in advance, just blank pages with some report names. Number 2, the navigation, that's really killing them. So I think that maybe we'll end up doing a back button here. And 1 second. I'm kind of experiencing what their experience is. I have no idea how to get back. Okay. So we'll change this. And this is also a big thing. I'm assuming that no one read how what the modules do. I'm just assuming it because if they're having problems to navigate, I don't think that they have all discovered this. And this is an important thing for people to read also. It's very short, but it kind of tells them why to use it, how to use it. And if this is hidden, then I could understand why people don't understand. Yeah, I don't see the value in this. I don't see the value on that. They literally didn't read what it's for. And it's only a few people that I would actually expect to use it and just know what it is for immediately. So this has been a long video, also 30 minutes. But unlike the first video with 30, that was 30 minutes, I only gave one person's feedback. In this video, I think I covered 10 or 11 different pieces of feedback. Just want to share this with you guys, just so you have an idea of what people is saying about the app in this current stage. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.